I got composite bonding done today. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, the lidocaine is still in effect, so if this part of my lip is drooping, that is why. My two front teeth on top got the composite bonding, and my top front 6 teeth got contouring and shaping. This is me earlier before the procedure began, and the reason for composite bonding is fluorosis. I had these spots on my teeth. I'll zoom in. These spots on the front of my teeth are due to fluorosis. And fluorosis is a condition that you cannot help. It is something that you were either born with or develop as a child due to too much fluoride in water. But also, if your mother is pregnant with you and develops a high fever due to sickness or the flu, it can cause fluorosis. Also, when you're a baby or a little child and your teeth are developing and forming, if you have a high fever, you can also develop fluorosis. So unless you have tested your childhood drinking water source and you know that there was an abundance of fluoride growing up, then it's easy to assume that you just had the flu when you were young and your temperature was quite high and it affected the development of your teeth. It is internal, it's not anything exterior, it is not anything to do with hygiene, it is legitimately the inner portion of your tooth. For me, it would come and go. It was not always a stark, bright white contrast. Those spots were sometimes hardly noticeable and sometimes they were very noticeable. And I'll give you my theory. I think it was based on hydration. When I've been sick and a week and a half ago, I was throwing up. I noticed that the spots on my two front teeth would worsen and they would become very stark in contrast compared to the rest of my tooth and my teeth. It was very noticeable. When I fly and especially land in the airplane when my skin is so dry and my hands are cracked and my lips are dry and the inside of my mouth I'm parched, my teeth reflect that, and those spots on my teeth are again very noticeable. So it's always been something I've wanted to correct. Even when I was young as a child and I would smile and I would see the spots on camera or in photos, I was self-conscious, about it. Because I didn't want people to think, oh, she doesn't brush her teeth. Because I do have good dental hygiene. I floss, I scrape my tongue, I go for regular dental cleanings. I've had braces twice in my life. The structure of my teeth are excellent. I've never been happier with my smile, but the spots were bothering me, I have to be honest. I looked around in Atlanta, Georgia. Dentists wanted about $375 per tooth. And in Europe, a lot of dentists wanted $400 per tooth. But where my dad lives in Middle Georgia, a local dentist wanted around $290 per tooth. And ultimately, unless you go to a dental school and a dental student delivers this procedure while someone is overseeing and watching them, you're not gonna find a cheaper price. I have looked for the best price. So what they do is they resurface your tooth. It is not, grinding down your teeth to the point where, you get veneers. It is barely taking off the surface of your tooth where the spot is, and only that area. And what they do is they use a composite bonding very, very, very close to the color of your natural tooth. Not the white spot, but your natural tooth and that color. And that is what they fill that spot with, and then they cure it with like a blue light, and it becomes your tooth. It becomes a part of your smile. It is permanent. There's nothing I can change, or I can't brush it away with a toothbrush, but dentists recommend that you get it touched up every 10 years, just in case there's been any discoloration or your natural tooth color has changed, or the evenness of the bonding patch is how you like it. 10 years is a long time, and I'm very happy with that timeline. One thing that's very important is you have got to be happy with the color of your tooth that is being corrected before you get the bonding, because there's no whitening afterwards. The color of the bonding is going to be the color of your tooth there forward. So I'm very happy with the front color of my teeth, and that's why, we went ahead and got it done. But the side teeth in my mouth could stand to be whitened, and that's fine. You can still whiten teeth in your mouth. You just cannot specifically expect bonded teeth to lift in color, if that makes any sense. It doesn't react well with the bonding. The ultimate push to get this done was the reason I was not 100% confident to smile. I always wondered and had the thought in the back of my mind, how obvious are my fluorosis spots on my teeth? And that's not a fun way to live. You know, if you have fluorosis, if you have some other dental condition, if it keeps you from being able to smile and laugh as large as you want, that's a problem. And I'm a big advocate for, if there's something you don't like about yourself, get it changed so that you can enjoy life and not feel self-conscious about something that is, not a choice. Fluorosis is not anything anybody decides to have. The other factor was modeling, and when you're shooting in front of a macro lens, you will see every crevice of every pore of every line on your face. That includes your teeth. When you smile, you will see every irregularity or, asymmetry or any discoloration that is in your mouth. And these white spots, when they were very obvious, man, they were highlighted by very good quality macro cameras. And it's not fun to look at on the screen when you're so happy with the rest of the photo and you're working for a brand or a skincare line and you're like, oh my God, I wish my lip would have been lower to cover my front teeth. So anyways, that's the whole reason I had it done. I couldn't be happier with the results. My lip is still very numb and droopy, so ignore that. But they also shaped my canines. I love that it added character back to my smile, and for the price I paid, and for the longevity of this result, I couldn't be happier. I also wanted to mention, there is only so much you can do with composite bonding. Like if I needed length added to any of my teeth, or if the composite bonding was a very, very large patch on my tooth, then veneers would have been the better route. And you have to go that way, unfortunately, because composite bonding is not something that it has the same structural integrity as a veneer or porcelain type of work in dentistry. So if you know that there's going to be a little bit more necessary, then don't consider composite bonding, because I don't want you to get composite bonding and then it like chip or fall off or crack. It's very minor what it can correct, but it is by far the much more affordable option if it's something minor, such as resurfacing a tooth to correct the fluorosis, if that makes any sense.